Okay, so this is the second video. As I mentioned in the first video, go watch the first video if you want to understand how the exam's going to work. I talked about that in the first video. This is the second video. Here we're going to talk about the points. How I'm going to grade this thing. Why have I got it broken up? And when you log into Canvas on Wednesday, there's going to be, okay, so taking the exam. Now I've set up a practice exam in Canvas. I'm using the quizzes tool in Canvas, but what you can do is go to, and the practice exam should work the same way the exam's going to work. And so use it for practice. I've got the practice exam set up. You can take it multiple times so you see how this is going to work. Practice with the practice exam. The actual exam, you'll get one time to take it. Right? Just one shot at it. So make sure you've taken the practice exam, you know how it works before you try to take the real exam. The exam is going to be timed. You'll have a time limit. You exceed that time limit, well, let's not go there. Right? I'll try to work with you on technical issues, but we're taking the exam. So before we talk about this, goodness, where do I want to put this in here? Make sure you have 2 hours uninterrupted. Give yourself plenty of time. All right, have yourself 2 hours uninterrupted where you can work through the exam. Okay? Make sure you have stable internet connection. Go somewhere. If you need to go somewhere, you can do that. They're at the school. They are making some computers available. Okay, that's if that's an issue, email me and I'll try to get you information. You should already have all that information. The school's been sending out good emails on that, but if you need help, let me know. Right? I'll be happy to help you. But if you can stay at home, stay at home. Right? If you've got good internet at home, you got everything you need, quiet corner, take the exam at home. That's fine. Just make sure you've got yourself plenty of time to do it. So you're going to go to modules, and then in modules there will be do the timed questions. Right, and I'm going to have it set up to where there's multiple versions. Odds are you're not going to get the same questions your other classmates are. Right? And some of you might, but just be aware of that. If you share much information, you may end up confusing each other, because with multiple versions, I'll probably intentionally give questions that are confusing if you try to talk to somebody else. So just be aware of that. I'm giving you fair warning. Do the timed questions. You're going to have 5 minutes each, and then you'll do, and then there'll be another part where you'll do the questions. And this one, just like with the practice exam, this will not unlock until you do the timed questions. Okay, so let's say, why in the world am I making this complicated? Well, here's the basic idea. Let's say what the timed questions are there for is it's really there to kind of see, show me you know how to set this problem up, how to get to a solution. It's, when we talk about when I talked to you guys about how I grade problems, test problems, right? The way I normally grade, as you guys are aware, is the fundamental laws and expressions to solve the problem. Right? That's where basically I try to set up my grading scale where that's about 60% of the points. If these are correct, if these are set up and simplified correctly, I try to put 60% of the points on there, okay, for getting those correct. So you can do that if you know what you're doing, if you're practiced, you can do this pretty quickly. And this doesn't take much time at all. Excuse me. And then for the rest of it then is properties, units, other unknowns. Right? What I normally try to do with those, I try to set up about 20% of the points available, try to go to those areas. Right? And then units and the solution, the actual numerical value in algebra. So normally I try to put roughly 20% of the points here in this block. Okay, so that's kind of the three main blocks. It's basically to get to a passing grade, to a D, to 60%, show me you know the fundamental expressions and fundamental laws associated with this problem. Okay? To get to a B, to get to good passing, right, to a C or a B, get you in that 70 to 80% range. Show me you know all of the unknowns. Show me you can actually get to a solution. So you can get these done, you can get this done pretty quickly. When you get to a new problem, you get this done pretty quickly. You get to, you know, this normally doesn't take too long, and this is probably takes the most amount of time, is this last 10 to 20% to get to an A, to actually get to the solution. I try to tell you guys, you know, if you find yourself doing a lot of algebra and units, just keep in mind you're only after the last 3 to 5 points on the problem, depending on how many points it's worth. Right, so let's say the problem is 40, let's say the problem is 40 points. Right? So 60% of that, you're talking about 24 points. Here you're talking about 12 points. Right? Here you're talking about another 12 points. Well, here's what I'm going to do is up here, right, we said these timed questions. The timed questions are going to count for roughly 30% of the points. Right? So you're going to get the timed questions. You'll have 5 minutes with each question to show me, you know, you can pick out of a lineup or do multiple choice or answer some questions, answer some basic questions about what are the fundamental laws and expressions you're going to use to solve this problem. Right? And then, you know, and if you get these wrong, that's okay. You're still going to be able to do all right, I'm going to split this into half. And so half of it you're going to earn in the timed questions. The other half you'll earn when you do the actual questions, where you're going to send me a PDF file. Okay? So in the regular part, you're going to get the exact same questions again that you got in the timed questions. You get the exact same questions. If you made a mistake in the timed portion, that's okay. You can still get a big chunk of those points in the regular questions. You can still get most of those points when you send me the PDF. Okay? And then actually working to the rest of the solution. Right? Whereas if you're in class, this is how I'm going to grade it. Since we're online, a big chunk of the major points is going to be in a very short time frame. And then the rest of these you're going to send me in a PDF file. Right, so the PDF is going to be worth 70%. If you get the timed portion incorrect, that's fine. Then you'll get 75 minutes to answer all 3 questions completely on paper as you normally would. And actually then, if you need to make corrections as you work through the solution, you make corrections and you get most of these points back, that's fine. That's okay. But again, that's kind of the way I've got it broken up, is just to try to... So the basic idea is, I don't have a good way to control what resources you're accessing or looking at. I will put it this way. If you will get 0 points for answers that match Chegg or online resources. If I can find verbatim, if I can find your answers verbatim, if you copy a website or some online resource verbatim and give me those solutions, I will not grade it. It's that simple. Right? Go look at the syllabus. Look at the purpose of the exam and what I'm going to do. If you and another classmate turn in the exact same solutions, just don't do it, guys. I don't want to have to figure out what I'm going to do in that situation, but I guarantee you, both of you are not going to get full points. Again, I'm going to set it up. My goal is to set it up to where you get different versions of the exam. So you probably do not plan on you getting the same version as somebody else in the class. Plan to sit down, give yourself 2 hours by yourself, uninterrupted, to work through these problems. Right? Plan to work on them on your own. And as I said, I'm not going to grade it if you give me verbatim internet solutions. If you and somebody else turn in the exact same solutions verbatim, then I don't know, guys. I may give you both zeros. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be hard pressed to give you anything other than zeros. So just don't do that. Just do your own work. It's going to be pretty obvious if you've worked with somebody. I don't mind you doing that on the homework for a number of reasons, but if you're doing your own work, your solutions will not match somebody else's solutions, period. And, happy to have that discussion with you outside of this video. But anyway, man, I wish you guys, I could ask questions. Maybe I'm definitely going to be available in chat. If we need, we can set up a video conference with 2 or 3 of us. However you want to do it, just let me know. I've not heard from you guys, so start reaching out and get in contact with me. All right, guys, stay well out there.